Breaking news, this just in. The Three Arrows Capital Fund insolvency continued. They have filed for bankruptcy, but the contagion continues to spread, as now the lending platform Celsius has officially filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. And Voyager, who is also significantly exposed to Three Arrows Capital, has also filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Despite all of this happening though, there are hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars still being raised and invested into the crypto space and into startups. So let's dive into this week's edition of the weekly news. If you are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Dirk. Subscribe down below. Click that notification bell if you are new, you're not yet subscribed. And of course, if you do enjoy this type of content, please do click that thumbs up button, as it helps the video get out to more people. If you want to get on my email list, it's the first link in the description down below, so I can notify you every time I upload a video or when there's an important update. So go ahead, click that link down below, enter your email, and you will get on the email list. You can also follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and join our free public Telegram. The links are in the description down below. Alright, so this has been going on for quite a while, but Three Arrows Capital has finally filed for bankruptcy, and now there is a developing saga where at one point we didn't actually know where the founders of Three Arrows Capital are. Suzu and Kyle Davis, they seem to have been on the run allegedly, and we still don't know what is happening. But Su did make a tweet in the last couple of days after weeks of not making any posts on his Twitter, and now also Three Arrows liquidators ask Singapore court to recognize company's BVI bankruptcy. So now, in order to liquidate that, there's all these different bits and pieces, different jurisdictions, different countries, and it's not as simple as it seems. But slowly but surely, it does seem like all of this is going to come to an end. Now, the Celsius lending platform that has a couple of weeks ago paused withdrawals because they seem to be insolvent, and it seems that that is indeed the case. Or perhaps like a literal Ponzi where they were taking new customer deposits to pay the yield that they were promising to old customers. Now, I have no idea if that's true, but Celsius has officially filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. And you can see over here, the Celsius network initiates financial restructuring, that is what they're calling it, to stabilize business and maximize value for all stakeholders. They have filed a voluntary petition for Chapter 11 protection. They claim to have ample liquidity with $167 million in cash to support operations. Now, we don't know what is really going on. They actually sent out this email to customers where they basically say they announced that Celsius has voluntarily filed petitions for Chapter 11 reorganization, where they give all the official announcements here. And they're saying it was a difficult but necessary decision by Celsius last month to pause withdrawals. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but basically that's bad news. If they have to pause withdrawals and they're voluntarily filing for bankruptcy and calling it financial restructuring, basically it means that there is something massively wrong, and we have yet to see if customers of Celsius are going to get a return of their funds or a partial return or anything at all, and we have yet to see that. Because basically there's nothing good, in my opinion, about filing for bankruptcy, and they know that when they're going to open the doors, anyone who had any funds in Celsius, as soon as they're able to withdraw, they're obviously going to withdraw everything they can, or at least I would, and I imagine most people will, meaning there's going to be a massive run, and if they don't have the funds to match all customer deposits, again, they're going to have serious issues. So I don't know how this is going to resolve, but it's looking pretty bad. Voyager is in a very identical situation to Celsius. It seems they have also paused all their withdrawals, and they've also filed a voluntary restructuring process under Chapter 11 to create an efficient path to resume account access and return value to customers. Again, this may sound like it is some positive bit of news, and maybe it's better than absolutely not hearing from them. But again, there is nothing positive about pausing withdrawals and, losing hundreds of millions of dollars in loans that they lent out to Three Arrows Capital. And they're saying, they're giving some hints at how they can reorganize the process, and they're planning on potentially giving some shares of Voyager and giving some Voyager tokens to customers in order to get some sort of compensation. My guess is with Voyager, customers will probably get at least some pennies on the dollar. Hopefully, they're going to get all their money back, but it doesn't look very promising. And again, this is a really powerful lesson why you should never trust third parties with your cryptocurrency, because crypto, unlike banks, are not guaranteed by anything, really. I mean, if your money is in a bank and the bank goes down, at least, in the US, you still have FDIC protection and you probably get some sort of money back. But with these crypto lending platforms, they're basically like startups. They also have all sorts of legal terms in their contracts. When you deposit your money with these platforms, more often than not, it actually becomes their property and not your crypto anymore. And customers are treated as creditors, not actually as owners of their own crypto. So it becomes very, very dangerous. Please be careful with your crypto and consider the fact that not just lending platforms, but also exchanges are always a risk. And when you keep funds on there, you have to consider that in the event of something going wrong, those funds could potentially be locked up for months or years, or potentially even disappear completely. So, in my opinion, long-term crypto holdings should always be kept in a wallet where you control the keys, like a ledger or a Trezor hardware wallet, and any funds kept on exchanges, in my opinion, should only be funds that you need immediately for any sort of trading, and for the rest, you should not keep large amounts of funds on any single exchange. Now, moving on to some more positive news, which is the Ethereum merge, which is another step forward to Ethereum becoming a proof of stake consensus mechanism, proof of stake blockchain. And this merge has been very much anticipated. It is tentatively scheduled now for September. So you can see over here, potentially sometime in middle to late September. Now, there have always been postponements and delays with any sort of massive upgrades. So we can probably expect this to potentially be delayed for another few weeks or another few months. But at least we are moving towards the right direction where this merge is going to happen. A lot of people are betting on that this is going to be very, very positive for Ethereum, at least in the long term. It is a big step forward, and hopefully it's going to help make Ethereum more efficient, and hopefully it's going to help it make it cheaper and solve those scaling issues that we have seen in the past. Now, apparently South African exchanges are welcoming the new crypto is financial asset ruling. So basically, major South African exchanges have welcomed the central bank's plans to regulate cryptocurrencies as financial assets. So this is an interesting turn of events where South Africa's Reserve Bank is set to begin regulating cryptocurrencies as financial assets within the next 18 months, with exchanges expecting the move to drive adoption within the country. The move to classify cryptocurrencies as financial assets and not currency has been talked about by some time by the South African Reserve Bank. Deputy Governor Kuben Chedi confirmed that the new regulations would take effect over the next year, speaking in an online dialogue on Monday. So that is a nice step forward for regulation. Let's see if other countries are going to follow suit over the coming months and years. In other news, GameStop has launched a public beta of their NFT marketplace. So this is interesting. GameStop has launched the public beta version of their NFT marketplace, which is built entirely on the Ethereum blockchain. The video game retailer launched a self-custodial crypto wallet in May, and apparently this GameStop NFT marketplace has done more volume in 2 days than the Coinbase NFT marketplace has done since their launch. So this is interesting to keep an eye on as it develops, to see how it continues to gain adoption or not, and how that progresses. And then while all of this bear market is happening, and while these liquidations are happening with 3 Arrows Capital, and the bankruptcy filings are happening with Voyager and Celsius and other platforms, there is still tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars that are being raised in the space and being invested in funds, in startups, and in infrastructure. So you can see over here, Animoca Brands raises an additional 75 million, nudging their valuation to 5.9 billion. The infusion is the second tranche of January's funding round, which nabbed almost 360 million and valued the investment company at $5.5 billion. Then we have Multicoin Capital, which has announced a new $430 million venture fund. So the crypto investment firm Multicoin Capital today announced its latest fund, Venture Fund 3, with commitments of up to $430 million. Then apparently we have Shanghai, which is allocating $1.5 billion to a metaverse development fund. So China's biggest city is banking on blockchain and the metaverse to accelerate the country's economic growth. Lightspeed raises over $7 billion across 4 funds, launching a new crypto native team. So this is a venture capital firm, Lightspeed. They announced that they have secured over $7 billion across 4 new funds, and it has also launched an independent crypto native team called Lightspeed Faction. So the former Meta execs are seeking a $2 billion valuation for crypto venture Miston Labs, the information. So 2 former Meta crypto executives are building a new blockchain and are seeking a $2 billion valuation for it, according to 2 sources with knowledge of the matter. And then finally, Saber Labs founders launch a $100 million crypto fund named Protagonist. So this is a new crypto venture capital fund, and they have launched with $100 million in capital. Its founders include the people behind Saber Labs, a Solana-based cross-chain decentralized exchange. So as you can see, there are still literally hundreds of millions, actually billions of dollars being raised and being invested into crypto, into the blockchain space, into the metaverse space, and there are no signs of it slowing down anytime soon. So while this bear market is ongoing and the prices have dropped significantly since their highs last year, fundamentally, there is still a lot of progress being made, a lot of work being done, a lot of investments being made, and eventually, in my opinion, that is going to result in another major bull run, more growth into the crypto space, new users, and what we are all looking for, hopefully much higher prices for a lot of the crypto assets. So that is it for this week's edition of the weekly news. If you enjoyed the content, please click the like button down below, smash that thumbs up button, turn it blue so this video can get out to more people. If you want to share it with friends and family on social media, I would appreciate that. And if you are not yet subscribed to the channel, click the subscribe button down below, click the notification bell so that you do get future updates, and you are welcome to get on my email list. First link in the description down below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.